4 progression runs to really ramp up your fitness.
I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso.
So one of the simplest ways to improve your fitness is a progression run. It adds a lot of variety and intensity to your training, which often does sometimes require minimal recovery. So what are they and how they can benefit you in your running? So what does a progression run actually mean? It simply means that you start off slow and you end up running faster than when you first originally started. How you do that is up to you in terms of what you control and the type of run. So in this video, I'll give you 4 different types of progression runs that you can add into your training. You can use them to tune up, to boost your fitness. It also trains the body to run faster while it's fatigued. So why would you do a progression run? So progression run, essentially, if you're running a lot slower before you ramp up into some more speedier work, it allows your body to firstly warm up. Personally, I wouldn't recommend running straight out the door into your session. It's always recommended that you do at least 10-15 minutes warm up, loosening up the body with a set of drills and strides before you attempt anything speedier. Anything that involves you putting more force into the ground, a greater hip extension, a greater knee drive, any runs like that which need your body to perform at a higher degree of pace, you need to be warmed up before. So that's where a progression run comes in, and which is why it's perfect and easy way to adapt. So there are many different types of progression runs, and each one has a different effect on how it boosts your fitness. So you got one which is building fitness, you got one for sharpening up for race fitness, developing speed and endurance, and also you can enhance recovery. So what are these 4 runs? So progression run number 1 is the easy progression run. These are the runs which are done after your hard days. There's the ones that boost your aerobic fitness and also to aid and promote recovery. You naturally start off on a recovery one at a very, very gentle pace, and you can build up into more of an aerobic speed faster than when you first started out. So sometimes you naturally do this without even realizing, just because the body's warmer, you're able to hit the pace once you have got your body moving, and the initial 10 to 15 minutes at the start of that crankiness, that stiffness tends to sort of loosen up. So you naturally do pick up the pace, which can provide a very good stimulus to aid your recovery, so you can then tackle your easy day moving on to your hard day. When are you going to do this? Probably twice a week or wherever appropriate within your calendar, wherever you have a recovery day. So how you do this is 15 to 30 minutes at a very slow, flat and sort of non-undulating route. And the goal is that you start off slowly, get yourself into it and build up to your recovery day pace. So progression run number 2 are the mid-range progression runs. It helps prevent in the long run becoming one long, tight, monotonous shuffle, which the stride then gets too short, and it also the neuromuscular timing goes a little bit flat. So this adds a stimulus to boosting that element of your long runs, but also keeping it at a mid-range, adding a little bit of spice into those runs itself. When would you do this? So you will do this once a week. And how you do this is you head out for a longer run done mostly at an easy pace, with the last 30 minutes done at a moderate pace. So you've got a nice gradual build up at a nice and easy, comfortable pace. And then the last 30 minutes, whatever it may be, it could be miles, it could be minutes, you're then increasing the pace to something moderate, which then breaks up that complete run in itself. Progression run number 3 is the pre-marathon progression run. So these are harder and longer in progression, and they typically involve running sections at your half marathon pace. So these are used to briefly enhance the aerobic and metabolic systems without putting too much strain on either one of them with the amount of volume that you're doing in that progression. Why these are beneficial? It allows you to simulate running at that speed whilst you're getting fatigued, but without adding the bulk load of doing a complete hard session at that pace. It's perfectly ideal during a marathon training block, hence why this is one that I would highly recommend if you are building into a half marathon or a marathon plan. So when would you do this? It's probably most likely that you'll repeat something maybe once or twice in a marathon training block, something that could be done once per month, specifically if you're running maybe a 14 to 16 week plan. Progression run number 4 is the threshold progression run, probably my personal favorite. A couple of variations on how you do this. You can deliberately start off at a nice easy pace, depending on how you want to control the progression run, whether it's per mile, whether it's per kilometer, or whether it's by a range of minutes. This is completely down to you. You don't essentially have to nail each and every single split, as long as the effort is there, the intention is there. And what these do is essentially just boost your race day fitness. So when you want to nail it on that race day, this is the one which is going to push that lactate threshold in boosting your fitness, that aerobic conditioning, to enable you to perform a lot better and stronger. The reasons why you'll do something like this, again, you're starting off at a nice easy pace depending on where you've set yourself to finish. So what I would tend to do, something like 5 minutes per kilometer, and then working up towards maybe just slightly faster than my half marathon pace, just slightly below my 10k pace. And this could be something that could be done over 12 to 15 kilometers with a 10-minute warm-up at the start and sort of a 10-minute cool down. So it can be quite a big session, but you're allowing yourself to start off relatively easy, relatively comfortable, and you are working up towards that threshold pace. So that's a variation of number one. Variation number two of a threshold progression run is, so could be something like 5 by 6 minutes, 6 by 5 minutes, 6 by 6 minutes, anything of those sort of variations. But if you want something in miles, after a very thorough warm-up, a good session to do on variation number two is 3 by 3 miles with a very short jog in between. So what does that look like? So mile number one out of the 3, you run at your marathon pace with a 1 minute jog. Mile number 2 will be run at your half marathon pace with another 1 minute jog. And mile 3, the final mile, will be run at your 10k pace. You can then jog easy for 3 minutes and then repeat that same set for 6 miles in total. And you can also add variation and load by repeating 1 set, 2 sets, or even 3 sets, depending on what your target is, whether it's for a half marathon or for a marathon. When you're going to do this is once every few weeks. It's something that you can also incorporate every week. Starting off, you can do this once every 2 weeks. Again, with progression runs, you are in control of how you run them. So that is my essential guide to running progression runs. If you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel down below. Until the next time, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.